Craig, I'll start with you. I can't remember, something like 66 points? How much better would Jadon Sancho make Manchester United?
Well, it's all about squads, isn't it? And, we've seen City and Liverpool beef up the squads, beef up their bench. And I think, and whilst I'm not suggesting Jadon Sancho is a bench player, but clearly if he comes in, somebody's going to have to drop to the bench, probably young Mason Greenwood. But it gives him another options. He's a player at the right age, clearly, for an asset for the next decade, potentially. And a player who's a game changer. He's already got the experience of playing at a big club in Borussia Dortmund. We know he left Manchester, the other half of Manchester. He's a full England international now. So clearly he makes them better. So it's no surprise that Solskjaer wants this done ASAP, but the deal might be a little trickier than getting it done in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
How much does it close the gap, Craig?
To what?
To City and Liverpool.
Well, one player's not going to close a 33-point gap. 33 points this year, 32 points last year. It's going to take a squad, and I've said many times, and I'll say it again, it may even take another manager. We don't know that. Certainly, in my opinion, it will. So it would be a piece of the jigsaw, but not the only piece for me, because I think he's signed a new contract in the Manchester Matic, but I'm not convinced he has the legs to play a full season in there. So I think there are other positions in the team, maybe another centre-half alongside Harry Maguire, although Lindelof's been better. So there are other positions, I think, that United have to worry about, not just bringing in another attacking player.
Elsewhere in our insider notebook, Manchester City and Chelsea are reportedly chasing Atletico Madrid centre-back Jose Gimenez. Don, I'll come to you on this one. Chelsea have spent so much money on the attacking part of their lineup. You mentioned Ben Chilwell before. Do you think they'll actually have some money to spend at the back?
I think he will. I think he has to. Listen, I love the fact that Chelsea are buying all these attacking players, and I know that they're desperate to try and get the Kai Havertz one over the line as well, which would be sensational. But still, when you watch Chelsea defend, and there's not a lot of protection in front of them, granted, but at the same time, they need a proper centre-half to go in there and just be the dominant leader. They've got some very good young centre-halves. I mean, Tomori's not bad. I mean, Kurt Zouma, I think, is okay. I think he's always got a little bit of a mistake in him. Rudiger's a very good centre-half. He's had a bad season this season. But if you put a real, dominant centre-half right bang in the middle, and then you work around him, and then you've got lots of options who you actually choose, it's the best way going forward, because I can't see Chelsea getting anywhere near Man City and Liverpool. They'll score loads of goals, but when you watch them every single week, and it'll happen next season, if they buy more strikers and more people that can score goals, because commit more bodies going forward, it's going to leave them so open at the back. So when you watch them, it's probably going to turn into a toss of a coin game. Can they outscore the opposition? It's a great theory, but in the Premier League, you've got to try and keep clean sheets.
Don, 120 million euros, the buyout clause for Gimenez. They have that kind of cash to do it? Is that the priority?
Well, I think Chelsea have got the cash. I mean, I think they can raise a little bit of money. I think they've got enough players in that squad that they can move on. So I think they can try and raise, at least 50 million of it. So it doesn't seem too bad. But Chelsea are a rich club. They've got finances. They've had a transfer ban. So they've brought loads of young players coming through. So you talk about the money that they're actually spending. But at the same time, the young players that have come through the door, like Mason Mount and like Reece James at right back especially, I mean, those guys and probably a couple of others are probably, and Billy Gilmore's another one, they've probably saved Chelsea close to £100 million if you try and replace those three. So I think Frank, the job that he's done has been exceptional. I think he's convinced the board at the top end of the club that he needs a bit of finances to try and get close to Liverpool and Man City. In my opinion, they're going in the right direction.
Meanwhile, Spurs trying to offload Tanguy and Ndombele. Inter Milan looks like a potential landing spot. Rabo, what have you seen from Ndombele this year that suggests, if anything, he'd be a good fit under Antonio Conte?
I think he's been harshly treated by Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho goes into clubs and picks on one or two players. He did it at Manchester United with Luke Shaw, and he's done it with Ndombele. He's had a go at him in the press. He's had a go at him in front of the other players. Ndombele, when he came on against Bournemouth, I was doing the game. He changed the way Spurs plays, because suddenly he was getting turned with the ball. He's looking to play forward. He's a much more positive player than Harry Winks. Harry Winks wants to play square and backwards and keep possession. Ndombele takes risk. He'll twist and turn. I thought he was brilliant for Lyon before he went to Spurs. And I think, given another lease of life at Inter Milan, he would be a very good son. There's a great player in there somewhere, but he's been mistreated or hasn't shown his best form at Spurs. And that's why he's going to have to move on, I think.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.